Welcome to the Great Mechanical Pencils YouTube channel. If you're a fan of discontinued mechanical pencils, you're in the right place. Today, we're exploring the Tombow SH-1000LP, a vintage drafting pencil from the 1980s that's a hidden gem for collectors and enthusiasts. In this video, we'll trace its history, look at some pencils that were possible design influences, and dive into its features. We will also look at its siblings, the SH-700LP and the SH-1500LP, and see how this pencil fits into the world of technical drawing tools. Stick around to find out why this pencil still captivates fans decades after its release. After exploring the history and influences of this pencil, we will conclude the video with a demonstration. I will be fully disassembling and reassembling the pencil, so stick around to the end. Tombow, a Japanese brand founded in 1913, is known for blending craftsmanship with innovation. The SH-1000LP was marketed as a drafting pencil, designed for precision tasks like architectural plans and engineering sketches. These pencils were built for professionals who needed reliable tools, and their discontinuation has only added to their allure today. The SH-1000LP wasn't alone. It's part of a family that includes the SH-700LP and the SH-1500LP, all from around 1980. Here's the rundown. The SH-700LP is the entry-level option. It was available in 0.3 and 0.5 millimeter. It has a black plastic body and a black plastic grip, a 4 millimeter fixed lead sleeve, and a lead hardness indicator. It's sold mainly in Japan for 700 yen. Our star today, the SH-1000LP, was available in 0.3 and 0.5 millimeter. It has a metal body and a black plastic grip. Came with a 4 millimeter fixed lead sleeve and lead hardness indicator. It's sold mostly in Japan for 1,000 yen. The SH-1500LP was the premium of the set. Available in 0.3 and 0.5 millimeter, it came with a full drafting package, a metal body, and a metal grip. It's sold primarily in Japan for 1,500 yen. Here are the prices for the pencils and the cost today, adjusted for inflation. As you can see, the SH-1000LP cost the equivalent of almost $11 US today, so it was a moderately priced pencil for its time. The Tombow SH-1000LP debuted around 1980. There's an interesting story on how I discovered this. I don't have access to many Tombow catalogs from that period, so I took a chance and went to the Tombow Japan website and just filled out the Contact Us form, asking for information about the SH-1000LP. Surprisingly, I got a very fast response. They sent me these two images. It's hard to read, but in it they mention a 1980 catalog and brochure. Here's a cleaned up and a translated version. I wanted to thank Tombow again for this response, and I'm sorry it's taken me over a year to get this video made. I had a real slow start getting this channel off the ground. Here are a few images I was able to find with some of the packaging options. As a collector, I like to sometimes think about the design influences behind pencils in my collection. There are many pens and pencils from the years past that share the sleek style of the SH-1000LP. Its design, reminiscent of an art pen style, features a torpedo-like shape with a distinctly pronounced grip and often a tapered barrel, creating a refined, artistic appearance. Sometimes described as knife or scalpel-like, this aesthetic blends precision and elegance, reflecting a thoughtful fusion of functionality and artistry that elevates the humble pencil to a tool of creative expression. Here are several vintage pencils from my collection that feature similar design and maybe even inspired the SH-1000LP. Real quick, I plan to eventually create videos for all the pencils shown in this video, but if any of these catch your interest, let me know in the comments and I'll get it moved up in my queue. This is one of my absolute favorites. This is the Uchida Type E. It's a twist type pencil and it came in a part of a drafting set. This will definitely be part of a larger video later. These pencils were branded as drawing sharps or drawing mechanical pencils and were popular in Japan for their quality and technical focus. They have no lid grade indicator, but they do come with a no-nonsense design. Could these have influenced the SH-1000LP? I don't know. The release dates are unknown, but it screams 1970s, so it's possible. This is the Type D. I'm not sure what it stands for, maybe deluxe, but it's nice with its black and gold finish. And here's the Type KN. This is actually a Noctite pencil. This is a Lion 3430. It doesn't have a lot of similarity, maybe a little, but I just thought it was a really cool pencil and I wanted to share it. Another pencil in my collection that is similar in shape is the Mitsubishi Color Sharp. Honestly, it's not that similar, but I just love this pencil so much I was looking for a reason to get it into a video. Mitsubishi's official history says they first developed unicolor pencils in 1971, so this may have been sold around that time. As you can see, the styling of this pencil is not very 1980s, so it's most likely to be around the 1970s or early 1980s, possibly predating the SH-1000LP. And as always, if you have additional information about any of these pencils, please share it in a comment. I'm doing my best to document these pencils before they are lost to time, so I want to ensure that the information is accurate as possible. Before we close the video with a demonstration, we're going to have a close look at the physical characteristics of the pencil. At 142 millimeters, this is just a bit longer than the P200. It weighs in at 12.1 grams with the pocket clip and 11.3 grams without. I tried to measure the balance point to see if it changed by removing the pocket clip, but to be honest, the difference was so small it was beyond my ability to measure. Here's a comparison to a P200. With the pocket clip, the SH-1000LP is about 2 grams heavier. They are just about the same length, and they share a similar balance point. The main difference is the grip. It's about a millimeter larger. I wanted to show here that the location of the lid hardness indicator does not interfere with your grip. I wanted to take a second and thank you for watching. If you're enjoying these videos, please hit the like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and I really appreciate it. And as we close the video, we're going to take the pencil apart and look at the pieces. I wanted to start by showing you how the lid hardness indicator works. For designs like this, I have found it best for me to hold the grip and ring with one hand, and then loosen the barrel with the other. Then adjust the ring, and while holding it in place with your thumb, tighten the barrel with the other hand. As we take this apart, I wanted to reflect that these pencils were created for draftsmen, pros who drew technical masterpieces by hand. But change was coming fast. In 1982, AutoCAD hit the scene, and by the mid-1980s, it started taking over the drafting world. And if you think about it, the SH-1000LP is one of the last pencils truly made for draftsmen before digital design stole the show. It's a snapshot of a golden era where every line was a labor of skill and precision, right before the computer age kicked in. While AutoCAD ushered in the dawn of the digital age, the SH-1000LP stood as a final masterpiece for manual precision. Its elegant design and dependable lid mechanism highlight the hands-on expertise that helped shape the drafting world, making this a prized collectible today. Now we're going to have a close-up look at all the parts, starting with the tip. And speaking of the tip, there's a problem with this pencil I wanted to talk about. I wanted to include this in the video, but unfortunately I fixed it off camera, but I do have before and after pictures. Have you ever held down the knock at the end of the pencil and the entire stick of lead falls out? That could be caused because a part that is normally stuck way up inside the tip has fallen out. This is usually due to age or wear. There's a small rubber ring, sometimes called the lid retainer, that provides just enough resistance to hold the lid in place while you're knocking the pencil. When you press down on the knock, the clutch opens and the lid advances. Without the lid retainer, there is no resistance holding the lid in place, which allows the lid to fall out of the pencil. And that is exactly what was going on with my SH-1000LP. And also, the piece had fallen out of my SH-1500LP. Luckily, it was still on the piece of lead. Here's a close-up of the lid retainer that has fallen out of my 1500. Sadly, the retainer for my 1000 is long gone. Here's where my off-camera repair happened. I had an old Pentel P205 where the lid retainer had come loose. Although they were different shape, I inserted it into the tip and it remained in place. Luckily for me, this fixed my problem, so I wanted to share this information with you. I can't tell if the tips are swappable between the 700 and the 1000. The threads are similar, but unfortunately my 700 is 0.3 and my 1000 is 0.5. You cannot swap the tips between the 1000 and the 1500 either. They have the same thread, but there is a slight recess on the edge of the 1500 that is not present on the 1000. This pencil has a 3-jaw brass chuck and a metal lid tube. The eraser cap was metal and had a flat top. The eraser caps between the 700 and 1000 are interchangeable. You can use a 1500 on this 1000, but it's a little snug. Mine came with a green eraser and has a lid jam clearing rod. And here is a close-up look at the grip and the lid hardness indicator. The body is one piece of solid metal and has a threaded insert on one end. I wanted to mention that if you are restoring a pencil, or perhaps, like me, bought one and then realized later it didn't have a pocket clip, you can find donors to replace your pocket clips. Donor clips can be found on some contemporary lower-end Tombows, like the KN Nock eraser holder or the Custom 5 H300KS Sharp. And here I'm just switching out the pocket clips to show you how easy it is, or if you just want to remove it altogether. But there is nothing that prevents this thing from rolling right off the table if you do that. The Tombow SH-1000LP is a snapshot from a golden era for mechanical pencils. Built for drafting, but with an artistic flair, they're now treasured by collectors. These pencils are a testament to Tombow and Japan's stationary prowess, blending technical precision with vintage charm. In the hands of architects and engineers, these pencils weren't just tools. They were extensions of their creativity, shaping everything from iconic buildings to intricate technical drawings. Today, their rarity and timeless appeal make them prized collectibles, reminders of a time when every line was a mark of craftsmanship. Well, that's all I can find on this pencil, so thank you for watching. And I'd also like to thank the members of the Knightology Mechanical Pencil Forum, the Mechanical Pencil subreddit, and the Mechanical Pencil Facebook groups. Links are all in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Great Mechanical Pencils for more discontinued gems like these. See you in the next one.